We gathered this evening to honor our fallen heroes and reflect on their legacy. It is a solemn occasion as we remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our community. But we also remember their courage, selflessness, and unwavering commitment to protecting others. Before we get going, I'd like to recognize our local and state leaders. But first and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge the survivors and families of the fallen. Thank you for being here. It's a long list, so bear with me. Please hold your applause until the end. First, I'd like to recognize Board of County Supervisor Chair Deshandra Jefferson, Vice Chair Andrea Bailey from the Potomac District, Clerk of the Court Jacqueline Smith, County Attorney Amy Ashworth, Chief Deputy from the Sheriff's Office Terry Fernley, County Executive Mr. Christopher Shorter, Deputy County Executive Mr. Dan Alexander, Deputy County Executive Mr. Elijah Johnson, County Attorney Michelle Roble. I'd also like to recognize Chief of Police Chief Newsham and Chief of Fire Chief Tom LaBelle, Chief of Manassas Park Mario Lugo. And I also like to recognize former Chief of Police, Mr. Barry Bernard. Thank you for being here. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association for hosting this event in the past and doing a wonderful job. We are honored to carry on your legacy, so thank you for doing this. At this time, I would like for everyone to stand for the presentation of colors by the Honor Guard, the singing of the National Anthem, and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and a rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. On. Right. Faith. Forward. March. Order. On.
Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce Chaplain Kevin Kiefer for the invocation.
If you would like, would you bow your heads with me, please? Heavenly Father, you came to earth to show us what true love looked like. You taught us what love was about sacrifice and virtue and about service. You taught us that what love means is to lay down your life for another. Thank you for the fallen officers as we thank you for their selfless example of their courage and their valor. We ask that you bless and keep the families and the friends of these fallen officers. Wipe away their tears from their eyes, Lord. Help them to heal and to move forward in the new normal every day in a way that honors their memory. Amen.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Chair DeShandra Jefferson for a few remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me to be here today to be with you. We gather with heavy hearts and deep respect to honor the memory of our fallen officers, those who made the ultimate sacrifice and service to their communities, their brothers and sisters in uniform, and the ideals of justice and peace. Each of these heroes stood as a guardian between order and chaos, courageously confronting danger so that others may live in peace. Their commitment was not just a profession, it was a calling. They wore the badge not for recognition, but because they believed in something greater than themselves. As we speak their names, we remember their courage, their kindness, their laughter, and the moments they share with their family, friends, and colleagues. Their lives were more than their final moments. They were parents, sons, daughters, spouses, mentors, and friends. To the family of the fallen, we cannot imagine your pain, but we stand with you. Your loved ones are not forgotten. Their legacy lives on in the lives they protected and in the hearts of all who remembered them. To those still serving, your bravery continues to inspire. Today, we reaffirm our gratitude and support for your service, and we promise to carry forward with the memory of those who we have lost. Let us take a moment to reflect on their sacrifice and to renew our own commitment to uphold the values for which they stood. May we never forget. May we always honor. And may we live every day in a way that is worthy of their sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Police Officer Salvador Orozco Braley for a few remarks.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to start off by saying that I am grateful and honored to have this opportunity to speak to everyone today. I want to thank our community members for showing their unwavering support to our department and for joining us today in remembering and honoring those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. I was asked here to speak today about why I became a police officer. That was an easy answer because I've always wanted to become a police officer as a kid. You could say that I was destined to be one. As a young boy that started his life on the last frontier and then moving down to Portland, Oregon, I remember watching my favorite show, the Alaska State Troopers, and thinking, that's what I want to do. Watching them get on helicopters, get on boats, trek through the treacherous snow and different climates of weather, this was a line of work that I wanted to do. It further developed my dream of becoming a police officer. As I started high school, I had long-term goals and short-term goals. My short-term goals were to play college football. My long-term was always to be a police officer. Due to a shoulder injury and my mother passing away, I was met with a decision to make. Either continue my dream of playing college football or continue chasing my dream of being a police officer. I eventually decided to switch paths after 2 years of playing college football and decided to join the world's greatest army, the United States Army. During my 20s in the Army, I still had the long-term goal of being a police officer. Through my time in the Army, I gained a sense of pride that came with serving your community and your country. This fueled something in me to further pursue my goal. I'm proud to say that I am proud and honored to say that I had the privilege to serve at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. I could vividly remember the first day that I tried out for the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. We were tasked with wearing a 45-pound ruck in inclement weather. It was snowing in January that day with high winds. We were given a task of going to one cemetery at a time and etching a black wax on a piece of paper with their names on it. We ended up going to 21 different headstones over 12 hours from sundown to sunup that night. The selfless act that those service members gave to me while walking through that cemetery gave me a great perspective, that it made me realize that the small discomfort that I was having that night and that I've had from my time in the Army was small in comparison to those who pay the ultimate sacrifice. Today, as a police officer now, I try and carry that attitude every day on the streets. What I love most about being an officer now every day is something different. I love working with different types of people within the community, learning about different cultures, and assisting individuals who aren't having their best day in that time, and turning that into a positive one. Ultimately, for me, it's the fact that I have the privilege to carry the torch for those who came before me and gave their life and protect and serve the members in the community. I would like to turn my final thoughts on why we're here tonight. Over the next week, we will gather law enforcement officers, community members, and supporters of LEO from across the country and around the world, and honor and remember those law enforcement officers who answered that call for the last time. Let us never forget the honor, selfless service, dignity, and sacrifice they and their families gave to their community. Let us continue to carry that pride, selfless service, respect, and integrity, and the honor of those officers beyond Police Week. I would like to leave everyone with a final quote, because I believe this should always be carried with us, even beyond Police Week. Police officers never die until they are forgotten. Police officers never forget. Thank you. I have the great honor to introduce Hector Hector DeTamo, father of police officer Paul M. DeTamo. Thank you.
As long as you get my name right with the call for dinner, we're okay. Good evening. My name is Hector Dinamo. I am the surviving father of Paul Dinamo, a DC MPD officer. He died in the line of duty on October 30th, 2010. Paul Michael is the 7th of our 8 children. After struggling through school and graduating from high school with the lowest GPA possible, he shocked us not only by wanting to go to Stratford University School of Culinary Art, but by graduating with honors. He had graduated from culinary school, and with the help of Dad's ATM machine, he opened his own very small pizza and sandwich shop. Paul always craved a life of service. After passing a road construction crew on a cold day, Paul would go back to the restaurant, make a couple of pepperoni pizzas with double cheese, and deliver them just in time for the crew's lunch free of charge. When one of the restaurant's elderly customers fell and broke his arm, luckily not at our restaurant, Paul showed up on the person's doorstep with 2 hoagie sandwiches within minutes after the man in a wrist-to-shoulder cast and his wife arrived back home from the emergency room. Paul was one of those individuals who could always see the needs of someone else. He loved deeply and accepted people for what they are. If you were Bill Gates rich or homeless person poor, African American or white, Christian, Muslim or Jew, you were valuable to Paul. And that is why he was driven to become a police officer. After he convinced me to retire from a 43-year government career to become a restaurant manager and pizza delivery person, Paul attended the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department Academy, graduating in February of 2010. He was signed to the 7th District in Anacostia, Washington, D.C. Ask any officer in the roll call room on the midnight shift, and they will tell you Paul drove them crazy with his constant questions, but they didn't suffer long. 8 months after graduating the academy, Paul died in the line of duty. Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Paul could have written that. In cleaning out Paul's school papers in our basement, Teresa came across a little booklet that he wrote. He describes his family, his home, his pets, and on the last page, he wrote about his future. "I want to be a fireman so I can help people." He was 7 years old. In adulthood, he became a chef and then a police officer. But the reason never changed. He wanted to help people, all people. No matter what your station in life, Paul saw you as valuable. Paul and Shauna had been married for 3 years when he died. Their wedding was memorable. They decided to get married on a cruise ship, and they invited their families and friends to join them on their honeymoon. So 67 of us at that time traipsed aboard the Grandeur of the Seas in our wedding finery. The wedding colors were red and white, and instead of crossed swords, Paul and Shauna exited the chapel under a canopy of various kitchen utensils. Our grandkids loved swimming in the honeymoon suite bathtub, and we all had a great time cruising to Bermuda on a trip which became known as our honeymoon. On the Saturday before his accident, Paul and Shauna found themselves browsing Babies R Us, having discovered just that morning that they were expecting their first baby. Paul wasted no time tearing out a wall in the baby's bedroom, preparing to expand the tiny closet. He scrawled measurements and directions on the drywall. We learned of the pregnancy on the way to the hospital the night Paul died. The closet was completed months later by Paul's brothers. The measurements and directions lovingly preserved behind the wall, so eventually one day the baby could see how much his daddy loved and prepared for him. The last time we saw Paul before he died, he came over to our house just as we were sitting down to supper. He asked me to borrow my typewriter. We invited him to eat with us, but he refused. Instead, he stood in the kitchen and talked about the police department and how he could make it better. He had worked there for 17 months, and he was ready to run the place. As usual, he couldn't talk sitting down. He had to pace while we continued with our meal, but not tasting anything. Our plates emptied, but we couldn't remember eating. When Paul left, there were no hugs, no I love yous, no I'm proud of you, nothing. When he was done talking, he walked out the door just like he always did. He talked on the phone the same way. When he was done, he hung up, and we frequently found ourselves talking to the dial tone. We often wondered where that boy came from. 8 months after Paul's death, Shauna gave birth to Alexander Paul Didymo. My wife and I were so grateful to be present at the birth. How can one feel so sad at the birth of a perfect, healthy grandson? As the new little guy studied our faces, we gazed down into the eyes of our own son. As for us, our lives are divided between what happened between October 30th, 2010, and what has happened since that terrible day. In the beginning, the hardest part of our day was getting out of bed. It took Teresa and me and our 7 children a long time to laugh again. It took us a long time to move on with our lives. Paul died, we didn't. We all know that nothing will ever be the same again. Someone will always be missing. Totally unexpected for us is the support, respect, and empathy we've received from the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department and from the Prince William County Police Department. Many officers have stepped up to help fill the unavoidable void since Paul died. Their obvious affection and concern for us and our family has been visible ever since that horrible night. And if it wasn't for the MPD family support team, we'd be in a very different place today. Law enforcement officers take an oath to lead a life of integrity, both on and off duty. They are constant witnesses to all manners of violence, misery, corruption, and dishonesty. They are spat upon and often called disgraceful names, and yet they maintain integrity. Their split-second decisions must be sound and complete. They must remain physically strong, but gentle enough to hold a weeping infant in their arms. They have to be compassionate enough to hug the mother of a shooting victim, but also the mother of the shooter. It seems an impossible task, and we are forever grateful to our officers who live a life of service, keeping the peace with feeling and integrity. How are we doing? Well, we miss our son. Our 7 surviving children miss their brother. The family dynamics have changed. Paul continues to be with us. He always got us into situations that we never expected. Teresa and I never expected to be spending our retirement volunteering for the police department or speaking to police officers or attending police academy graduations. As Paul's surviving parents, we commend our local police officers and police officers throughout the world for the courage and bravery they exhibit as they go about their career. We promise to continue to pray for you and your families every day of our life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Didymo. You're always welcome, not just for supper, but for any meals, anytime in our police department. Thank you, Teresa, as well. At this time, I'd like to welcome Chief Newsham for a few remarks.
Good evening. That was pretty powerful, Hector. One of the things that Hector did not mention I think he glanced at it a little bit, but Teresa and Hector have been at almost every single recruit graduation since Paul left us. They've been a remarkable support system to our law enforcement family. Earlier today, they were at an event for survivors. On Saturday, they were at a brunch for survivors. Tomorrow, they'll be at the Blue Mass, and that's just half of their week's events for this week. Can we give the Didymos a round of applause, please? Grace Life Community Church, Chaplain Kiefer, we can't thank you enough for allowing us to use this beautiful facility. Let's give Grace Life a round of applause. Our officer, and he's still back, is Sal still in the room? You wanted to be an Alaska State Trooper, is that what you said? Sal, I can't hear you back there.
Yes, sir. Not anymore.
Okay, good. Excellent. It's kind of cold in Alaska. And Celine Wachowski, who sang our national anthem, she was amazing. Let's give Celine a round of applause. All of our elected leaders and county leaders that are here, we did not mention we have executive leadership from the DEA, executive leadership from the FBI, Chief Keene from Manassas City, and we have leadership from police departments from across the region. Can we give them all a round of applause for showing up? It means the world to us, and I'm sure to the survivors, that you came out today. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated a day in May as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which that date falls as Police Week. The proclamation was to ensure that our country took the time out to pay tribute to the men and women in law enforcement who paid the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives in service to others. Each year around Police Week, we hold this tribute to honor the brave men and women who lived and worked in Prince William County and who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. I'm going to pause right there. Prior to this year, our Citizen Police Academy Alumni Association from 1995 till last year ran this event. Can we give them a round of applause? I don't know if Dave Dallas is here, but he was instrumental in that, and that will never be forgotten. These officers answered a call greater than themselves, dedicating their lives to protecting their communities with courage, integrity, and unwavering commitment. They chose to run towards danger when others ran away. Their selfless service will never be forgotten and stands as a powerful testament to the values of justice, integrity, and public service. In addition to these heroes, there's another group of people who we honor during this tribute. I am absolutely certain that our fallen heroes are in a better place, but we must continually remember behind every badge was a family, a child, a parent, a spouse, a sibling, a friend. And those survivors, many of them are with us today. Let's give our survivors another round of applause. I am absolutely certain that the absence of your heroes, our heroes, left an unfillable void in your hearts. I know this tribute does not fill that void, but I am hopeful that it eases some of the pain that comes with it. To our law enforcement members in attendance, we must continue to remember and reflect on our heroes' sacrifice. We must continue to reaffirm our duty to support the loved ones they left behind and to ensure their legacies are never forgotten. Their names are etched not only on memorial walls, but also in the hearts of the grateful community they served and the loved ones they left behind. May their courage inspire us, their memory guide us, and their dedication remind us of the cost of peace and safety. We honor them today and always. They will never be forgotten, and we will never forget their sacrifice. Thank you.
Justice of the Peace, Thomas Meredith, Prince William County Circuit Court. End of watch, July 19, 1922. Trooper Jackie Broussard, Virginia State Police. End of watch, May 5, 1970. Police Officer Paul White, Jr., Prince William County Police Department. End of watch, October 27, 1973. Investigator Claude Seymour, Virginia State Police. End of watch, April 25, 1975. Trooper Johnny Bowman, Virginia State Police. End of watch, August 19, 1984. Sergeant John Connor III, Manassas City Police Department. End of watch, July 24, 1988. Police Officer Mike Pennington, Prince William County Police Department. End of watch, November 22, 1990. Trooper Jose Cavazos, Virginia State Police. End of watch, February 24, 1993. Special Agent William Christian, Jr., Federal Bureau of Investigation. End of watch, May 29, 1995. Detective John Gibson, United States Capitol Police. End of watch, July 24, 1998. Police Officer Marlon Morales, Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority. End of watch, June 13, 2001. Special Agent Robert Roth, Federal Bureau of Investigation. End of watch, March 16, 2008. Second Lieutenant Francis Stecco, Fairfax County Police Department. End of watch, October 25, 2008. Special Agent Chad Michael, United States Drug Enforcement Administration. End of watch, October 26, 2009. Police Officer Paul Dittamo, Metropolitan Police Department. End of watch, October 20, 2010. Police Officer Chris Young, Prince William County Police Department. End of watch, December 31, 2012. Police Officer Ashley Gwendon, Prince William County Police Department. End of watch, February 27, 2016. Supervisory Special Agent Thomas Monal, Federal Bureau of Investigation. End of watch, February 10, 2021. Deputy David Myers, Jr., Prince William County Sheriff's Office. End of watch, December 27, 2021. At this time, I'd like to invite Pastor Kiefer back to offer the benediction.
You bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, these officers paid the ultimate sacrifice. They laid their lives down. They said, "Here I am." Lord, I pray that we remember how they died, but we celebrate how they lived. Pray that you will continue to comfort and help those of the surviving family who are left behind to move forward. And again, in the new daily routines that they have to develop and how they can move forward. I pray that we will know with discernment how to come up alongside them best, how to love on them, and to continue to be their community and to be their brotherhood, and to remember that they still every day deal with this in their own special way. So Lord, thank you for being faithful to us. I thank you for this opportunity for us to celebrate them and to remember their ultimate sacrifice. Amen.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize a special person who always helps us in the police department and helps our families as well during a tough time. That is Mrs. Vicki Taylor from our Resiliency Center. Thank you, Vicki, for everything that you do for us. I'd also like to thank our Community Engagement Unit for putting this event together tonight, but a special thank you to Ms. Delane Clark for all of the hard work she put into this, so thank you very much. This concludes our ceremony. We have some light refreshments in the back for you. Please hang out and speak with us. Thank you. Thank you for coming.